point accusing fingers, forgetting that there are four other fingers pointing back at us. Just because you sing differently from someone else doesn't make you a saint. But when I was left to write on it, am I the right person to? Hi, good day. So, if this is your first time here, you're welcome to Radical Ruby, and my name is Ruby, and I drop a new video every Wednesday. So today I'm going to talk about something I already started, a topic. Last 3 weeks Wednesday I spoke on suicide, and the reason why I did that was because of a picture with a question that a friend of mine forwarded to me. So I had to divide it into two topics. First of all, suicide, and secondly, the consequences of our actions or the action of the fraud in that question. So I'm going to do a little reminder and show you the question. Here it is. So let me tell you the picture the person is trying to paint. The person who made the statement is trying to say that someone defrauds another, and the person, the victim, ends up taking his or her life. Then the fraudster in question, maybe in the near future, gives his life to Christ and makes heaven. So the person feels that it's not fair, and so that's why I had to address the suicidal aspect last 3 weeks. So now I'm talking about the fraudster. And in order for me to talk about this, I have to use the Bible. I can't say it based on what I think. So now I'm going to use the story of David in the Bible. 2 Samuel chapter 12, I think so. So where Nathan was sent to David to tell him, give a message from the Lord. Why David slept with Bathsheba, that is Uriah's wife, out of lust, and they bore a son. And he sent him on battle against the Ammonites, and he was killed. Uriah was killed, and this boy was born out of lust. And so Nathan was sent to David to remind him of his sins, and that he had to pay for it with his son's life. Now David sought for forgiveness from God, and guess what? God forgave him. But irrespective of the fact that God forgave him, he had to bear the consequences of his action. Now, bringing it back to reality, as parents or even as siblings or as older ones, there are times where your junior one or your child, does something bad or something offensive, and you punish the child. Doesn't mean you don't love the child. You still accept that child, but at that point in time, he has to, bear the consequences of his or her own actions. So what am I trying to say? The fraudster in quotes, or the Yahoo boy in quotes, you might see it as this guy has done something terrible. Because of his actions, someone died. True, but you don't know the punishment that God has given him for that his action. Because David in his kingdom, his kingdom people might mourn with him, not knowing really why his son died. Right? So it's same with him. This person that you feel has done so much terrible things might have suffered for his actions, but the main thing is that God forgave him, and God forgives each one of us. Now, why am I saying this? You who go around body shaming people, you who go around saying hurtful words to people, or pointing accusing fingers on people, you might also lead to someone's death. Because there are some words, there's some things you say to people, and they go to bed crying, and they start thinking of how to commit suicide. So you don't have to place a knife on your hand in order for you to be a murderer. So how then are you better than someone that kills or someone that steals? But at the end of the day, we all have fallen short of the glory of God, and yet He is merciful. Yet He forgives all of us. For there's so much rejoicing in heaven when a sinner repents. And we all fall into that category. Be it the sin whether it's grave, whether it's little, we all sin. So it's not based on our own judgments for us to point accusing fingers, forgetting that there are four other fingers pointing back at us. Just because you sin differently from someone else doesn't make you a saint. So it's not your own point to say, hey, that this person did something bad and he's going to repent in the future and then God forgives him. God is merciful. He will forgive you. But you have to go through the consequences of your actions. But he's an ever merciful God. And tomorrow, just like a child, when you remember the punishment you have to go through, you begin to make amends and you don't want to do that anymore. So after going through such consequences, you remember it's tomorrow. And then you say, no, I don't want to do that anymore. And you possibly be a guide to someone else. So let's all remember this. Let's all watch all our actions in order not to drive someone else into suicide, into thinking less of themselves, into asking God, why was I created this way? May we all do the right thing. May we seek God first. May we learn not to judge others. May we only leave judgment for God. And may we walk only through the path of righteousness. In times where our actions fail us, let the grace of God abide with us. We pray through Christ our Lord. Amen. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. And I'm going to leave the description, the link in the description for the last video. Alright then, and see you next week. Bye bye.